Ciao, welcome back to another episode of Modern Mediterranean Summer. Did you think I'd create any type of video of me in the kitchen without a sauce? I have so many cuts on my hands. A zucchini lasagna, vegetarian, high protein, low calorie, weight loss lasagna. Both of these recipes are total experiment recipes. I tried the cookie dough. I have to have a dessert prep for myself. We're gonna make a pistachio fregolotta with a strawberry-rhubarb jam. It's so zestful! This week's gonna be crazy because I work weekends. Mondays are kind of my Sunday, getting my act together day. And so I have some time to meal prep today, or I'm just now starting to have time to do some meal prep. They both require the oven. I have to have a dessert prep for myself because otherwise I tend to binge and I'll do a handful of chocolate chips and then I'll look for some other things, so then I'll eat some more fruit and then I will do a little bit of date and peanut butter and I'll eat all these little nice wholesome little healthy treats, and then I'm like, okay, well I was standing in the kitchen kind of picking away. If I could sit down and have my nice little wholesome dessert, I'd be satisfied. So much of the Mediterranean diet and the Mediterranean lifestyle, so much of it is about the food that you eat, but it's also about the way that you're eating it in a sat down with people kind of form instead of just wandering around the kitchen. The dessert itself is not bad for you. It's how you eat it in moderation and quality and all of that stuff. So I just need a dessert. Gosh darn it, I don't wanna even explain myself. I made jam 2 months ago and it's been sitting in the fridge, this strawberry rhubarb jam, and I just really want to use it up. I want to remake a recipe I made a few years ago, which was a fregolotta, which is basically an Italian tart with jam, and it's similar to a crostata. And so we're gonna make a fun pistachio fregolotta with a strawberry rhubarb jam. And then we're gonna move on after that to a zucchini lasagna, vegetarian, high protein, low calorie, weight loss lasagna. It fits all the things. So I'm making that recipe coupled up with a dessert recipe for meal prep. Let's start first with the pastry and then we'll move on to the lasagna. Da, 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 da. This is why both of these recipes also made sense, is because they both need the big boy food processor. So I thought, why not pair them together in a video? You could also make these in a 9x9. They would be a little bit thinner. I like a nice like thick crust, so I'm all about texture, as you guys know. Both of these recipes are total experiment recipes. I have 1 cup of pistachios here. I'm trying to do better about labeling it also in my recipes as grams. These are roasted and salted. So ideally, in a perfect world, you'll be getting raw, unroasted, unsalted. We get ours in bulk from Costco. It's an incredible price. And I thought, why not use what we already have? You just want to get them super, super fine and turn this into a flour. The thing that scares me is it gets hot really fast and it could go from almond-y meal kind of texture to pistachio butter in like a matter of a minute. I'm going to add 1 cup, 120 grams of all-purpose flour. I'm gonna actually weigh it because flour can be finicky. To make this gluten-free, you could use an all-purpose, gluten-free 1-to-1 flour. I would also recommend you could use oat flour, 30, 60, 90, 120. That's how many grams are in a cup of flour. And look, it doesn't even go up to the 1 cup. Like it's bad. All right, I'm not gonna try to solve this mystery right now. We're just gonna go with grams. You can use oat flour. It's just gonna be more crumbly. They're not gonna be as sturdy, which could still be delicious. You could even make it more breakfasty that way and lower the sugar amount. 56 grams or half a cup almond flour. I want my mom to eat this, because otherwise I'll just have so much, which I'm also giving these bars away too. I'm seeing my hair girl this week and I wanna give her these bars, one of my best friends. I wanna give these bars away too. It's my love language to gift food. And so what works so well with everything going on in this recipe is cardamom. But cardamom, not everybody loves, and it's also for me kind of a fall winter spice. It's a strong, earthy, citrusy, warm spice, and I don't want to put it in there because my mom will not eat this if I put cardamom in there, but I'm gonna list it in my recipe and pretend that it's in here, but I'm not doing it. You could also do some vanilla extract, coconut extract, orange extract, lemon extract. I'm gonna do a dash of orange blossom water. I wish I had some orange zest. I feel like orange would go great with all of this. I talk about this all the time. It's one of my most favorite ingredients in the whole wide world. It just smells so good. grass-fed, high quality, good butter. Butter is totally part of the Mediterranean diet. It's just all about the quality. You want the butter straight from the fridge. You want it to be as cold as possible. And this is why I love that we're using the food processor, because it's gonna blend it up and make that dough. And the orange blossom water is amazing because you need water to help also make the dough. You need about like a tablespoon of water. So instead of using water that's flavorless, we're using an orange blossom water, which is flavorful, because I think about flavor and how I can add little flavor bombs in all my recipes. I didn't put any sugar. Oh no. Totally screwed up. I totally forgot the sugar. And so now the dough has been overworked and it's way too warm, but it tastes delicious. I tried the cookie dough. Anyways, I'm gonna pop this into the fridge. This is the dough left over to crumble on top, and let this get nice and hardened and refrigerated. We're going to make a lemon pesto lentil zucchini lasagna. I even got some pretty yellow squash to layer in because I think it's gonna make the dish really beautiful. You could definitely do this with a mandolin, but I'm not in the mood to do all that. And you wanna get a pretty wide vegetable peeler. And I'm going to make my lasagna noodles. The vegetable peeler is not working. I'm just gonna try with my next piece. We'll see. I have reached the point now that I wanna stop filming and throw away this entire video. I tried to use the vegetable peeler because I've seen other people do it, and my zucchini and summer squash were not vegetable peeling, and I didn't want to get out the mandolin, so I cut it all as thin as I possibly could, very, very ratchetly. Even though they're not mandolin thin, I almost like that because I am such a texture girl that I want the bite and the chew of the summer squash and the zucchini. These vegetables are filled with water, so we're trying to pull that water out so it doesn't get soupy and just watery. So I'm gonna salt them and let it sit while I prep the other two things that going into the lasagna, which is the ricotta filling and the pesto lentils. So I have the pistachio dough. It's really cold now. It's super hard and gonna be perfect to bake. I'm going to fill it with my strawberry-rhubarb jam about 3/4 of the way up. And then I'm gonna take this dough and crumble it on top and then pop it into the oven. It looks really pretty. I have no idea how it's gonna turn out. I'm gonna get started on a sauce. Did you think I'd create any type of video of me in the kitchen without a sauce? Perfect recipe for lemon pistachio pesto. So I have some parm. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it up and throw it into the food processor and grind it up. So I'm gonna go with 3 ounces of parm. I'm using pistachios because it's my favorite nut. If you wanted to use traditional pine nuts, that would be amazing. If you wanted to use walnuts, if you wanted to use a mixture of pistachios and walnuts. Could you use pecans? I feel like cashews and pecans, yeah, why not? I have a crushed, pretty large garlic clove, honestly. I'm gonna go through and pick out the little stem guy because that always makes it bitter. If you love garlic, like I always say, add so much more. But this is also a sauce that sits and develops more and more flavor. If you've been following along with my Mediterranean summer series, this is the last lemon from Italy. She's seen better days. It's time to use her up. So we're gonna zest the entire lemon and juice the entire lemon. I promised a lemony pesto. This is how you're gonna do it. I have so many cuts on my hands. Whoa! Honestly, these lemons are the juiciest lemons. I have all the lovely components of the pesto. I'm gonna go ahead and add a pinch of salt. We have quite some salt going on there. We have the roasted salted pistachios. We have the parm. It's already pretty salty. And now, the last thing I need is the best herb in the world. I wish I had a massive bush of basil, but I don't. So today, I'm just gonna take all of the basil and just pop it into the pesto. It's been deleted. I'm gonna stream this olive oil in so slowly to make sure that it really emulsifies and gets nice and whipped, kind of make a more luscious sauce. OMG, this looks so good. I gotta do a little tasty taste. A lemon. It's so zestful. Taking this pesto, putting it off to the side. Before I do the ricotta filling, I'm gonna do a switch of these paper towels on the zucchini and the summer squash because they're soaked. We're drawing some serious moisture. That's a good sign. We're doing what we need to do there. And don't worry, I know you're probably gonna come for me and be like, you're so wasteful with paper towels. We compost in this household. There's that, I guess. I don't know. So the ricotta, it's gonna be cottage cheese. Now, hear me out. Well, everybody calm down. I would normally use ricotta. I have nothing against ricotta. I think it's an everyday ingredient. I think it's amazing for us, get high quality. You wanna use whole fat. Like, this is the only cottage cheese I've ever even tried. I don't know how other cottage cheese compares. It's so like whipped and fabulous. The higher fat you get too, the less tangy it is. So you'll notice that in Greek yogurt, in cottage cheese, it's less sour if you go higher up in fat. Our body is good with healthy fats. I say this all the time, natural fats. Refined and processed, those aren't scary words. It's ultra processed, ultra refined. What is the quality? How far away was it done? How long ago was it done? I feel like in the States, here in America, like our health, we focus on the words so much of like what's bad. Let's stop focusing on all the bad and start just focusing more on good and intertwining it more into our diet, our lifestyle. I created this lasagna recipe because my sweet mother wanted to meal prep lentils because we were having a conversation the other day of like how good lentils are. She made like 8 cups. And she was like, oh. She's like, oh, I didn't know I was gonna make that much. I was like, yeah. So we have a ton of lentils in the fridge and I am Caroline. If you've not met me, hi, I'm Caroline. I love to use up what we have. One of my favorite things to do is use what I have in the fridge, in the freezer, in the pantry. And I have 12 cups of lentils that I want to use up and it makes a really yummy textured goodness. And I didn't want to make, of course, a simple recipe. I wanted to make like a fun seasonal recipe. So that's why I wanted to use these as a lentil filling to the lasagna. So instead of ground beef, we're gonna do lentils. And then instead of red sauce, I'm using that pesto, which is good because red sauce is great in lasagna because of all the water content in the red sauce. It helps cook the lasagna noodles because I love using the no boil noodles. But since we're using zucchini, we don't have to worry about moisture levels. Is layered. I have some foil on it. I'm gonna pop it into the oven. I don't know about the lasagna. I didn't portion out the layers correctly. But then I did because then it all worked out. One unfortunate thing is there's a little bit of pesto left over. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna find a recipe to use up that pesto. She turned out freaking gorgeous. You knowing everything that went into this, how could this not taste amazing? So it's been resting for 30 minutes and it's time to cut into it. This is one of the best things I've ever made. This lasagna is so good and flavorful. It tastes like summer. I love the meatiness of the zucchini. It's just a little bit of water releases when you cut into it. But honestly, I think that was gonna happen no matter what because the vegetables are so watery, but it doesn't ruin the flavor, the taste, the texture, the anything. There's just a little residual water in your plate. Ooh, I got a really cheesy bite. Flavor is so amazing. Texture is so amazing. So good for you. Wow, I'm so full from just a few bites. That's a hearty summer dish that still can make you feel light. I mean, it's filled with such protein and vegetables and goodness. I think this turned out pretty okay. I also have stains all over my skirt. We're not gonna talk about it, but look, it looks so good. It smells so good. I am so excited for this. There's like still like the ever so slightly green hue to it as well. It's super golden brown on the edges, golden brown on the top. Let's dig into it. We're just gonna, That is so, 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 so good. No notes. Absolutely delicious. I've eaten way too much. Thank you so, so much for watching. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my evening, take a walk, do some relaxing, because this was all very stressful. Until next time, I hope you create a very successful day.